So we went out and did some scouting, looking for spots to build new tree stands, and set some trail cameras out at the intersection out by Scotty's stand, and some down along a fence row where we might put a tree stand in the future.
I knew a guy shot a buck up here last year. That's this year. That's a good sign. I'll have to send that to Pat. So they are funneling around that fence, like I thought. That muscle disease I have, it's a form of muscular dystrophy. It's a rare form called inclusion body myositis, which there isn't any treatment for, no cure, and it just keeps getting worse. So, as most of you might know, that I'm sort of on the handicap side, and I need special adaptive equipment to even get to go hunting, to even pull the trigger on a gun or a bow. And so I invested in all this adaptive equipment that it's got an electronic device that you bolt onto the trigger guard, and you bite on it and it'll pull the trigger. And I got a gun rest that I put it in that you can adjust it so that your gun or your bow is weightless in it. You can move it up and down, back and forth, and anywhere you stop you can let go of it. It'll stay right where it's at, which is awesome for somebody that has a strength problem like I have. And that's probably the only thing, well, it is the only thing that keeps me in the woods hunting. I'm in a power chair now, and so we had to figure out a way to get me up to my stand. Well, first off, my son, he redesigned my stand up there so that I can drive up a ramp and go straight in it without having any turns or anything. It used to have a step going up in it, which I couldn't step up in it any longer. And he did all that to my tree stand this year so that I could just drive my power chair right up to it and drive it right in, and I could turn my power chair to any window that I wanted to and shoot out of it. So I had a little bit more freedom that way up there, instead of just being in a chair where I couldn't move. An animal, a turkey or a deer or whatever, wouldn't have to be directly in front of me for me to shoot it. I could move around a little bit in there. And to get me up to the stand, I couldn't drive my power chair the whole way up there. And so we got a tilt bed trailer, and I drove up in the back of the tilt bed trailer, and my son strapped it down, and off we'd go. He'd pull it with his side by side, and we'd pull it up in the woods with me strapped on that tilt bed trailer, and we'd get up there. I'd drive off of it and go up into my stand, and then he'd take the tilt bed and the trailer and the side by side off someplace and park it.
Huh?
Okay, look at them.
Ay, 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 ay.
We was getting a lot of pictures on our trail cameras of some pretty nice bucks moving earlier in the year, not sort of like they do in the rut, only they was moving on their own, and we was getting a fair amount of decent bucks. I mean, there was no pooping young bucks there, but they was all decent, and so we was kind of really looking forward to the archery season opening.
So most of the season, Liv hunted the creek bottom stand, and then she hunted in my old bow stand, which is on the other side of the property. What do you think, Bradley?
That was good.
Well, Bradley killed the first buck of the year. He drew first blood this season, and it was a really nice one. It was his first buck, and couldn't be more excited to see Bradley kill.
Well, I'd like to give Bradley a big congratulations, because it's tough for somebody like Bradley to go out there and hit it hard and finally wind up with a buck, something he's been dreaming of his whole life. And because Bradley's sort of a special kind of a guy, and we would all really like to congratulate Bradley on getting that buck.
Well, I think one of the best kills of the season was Bradley getting his first deer, his first buck. That was quite special to see Bradley get his first deer. Next thing I know, I get a phone call from Bernie. He's all excited. He says, Bradley just hit one. And Bernie and Tracy was sitting with Bradley in a blind out at the farm. So I went out, and Bradley was all excited that he had hit it, and he kept telling me the story and where it went, and me and Bernie started looking for blood, and we couldn't find no blood. And so we went down to where it entered the woods when it had left the field. We was looking around, and got a phone call from Taylor. He was leaving class. He was at Penn State and wanted to know if we wanted help, and I said, yeah, you might as well come out. Okay, we found a piece of arrow, and there was a little bit of blood, not much. We kind of lost the blood. We're walking around, and Barney found a few more drops of blood, and the blood picked up some. And then we found the rest of the arrow where the deer must have ran into a tree, and the blood just started pouring out of it. And we saw it laying down there, and we walked up on it, and it was dead. It really didn't go far. Once it entered the woods, it probably only ran 35, 40 yards, but all told, it probably ran about 100 yards before it piled up. And as I'm coming down with the tractor, I can hear Bradley singing. He thinks my tractor's sexy. He was all excited, and it was just a great thing seeing Bradley get his first deer. All right, Bradley, we want to hear your story. What happened tonight?
I sliced this deer up, and he came through here. The little buck come after he came here, and I whack him a shot, and he was like jumped down. He was a very good buck. He was like, look at him like, Barry said, get your crossbow out. I'm shaking, he's like, get your bow out.
That's right.
It's like, I was like, I'm shaking. Yeah, I was excited and shot it.
That's awesome. Awesome. Hold his head up a little bit. There we go. Oh, okay. I got him. That's good.
Yeah, he is stiffy.
Yep. Nice. Real nice, buddy. Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody else wants to add to it?
No, we're just
What do you
proud
think,
of it.
Mom? Huh?
Proud of it.
That's right. Yeah, look at the smiles. All right.
Third day of bow season, and I had a heck of a time getting in here, but the class, found out my lake class was canceled, so we're back out here in the same spot. hopefully big buck comes through.
It was Wednesday the first week. We had Dad out hunting.
We saw a couple bucks on that first time I went out, but we didn't get a shot at them. And so we went out the next day. Hadn't seen nothing. And all of a sudden Matthew was sitting there with me. He was going to do the filming. And he says, "Here they come, Dad, get ready."
Right away I saw the first one was a decent buck, and they had just come out of the thicket. They was almost right on us when I first seen them. I was trying to do my best at filming to please Taylor.
And here comes this 8-point that's hanging up there. I don't know if you can see it or not. And I kept thinking, well, when he puts that left leg forward again, I'm going to let him have it. Now he was quartering a little bit, but I thought maybe when he put that left leg forward that I would squeeze one in there good. Well, I squeezed it in good, all right.
Got him. We sat there, we played it back and watched it, and it looked like a good hit on the camera. And well, I walked out of the stand first to see if I could see any blood. And as I was there, I seen movement up on top of the hill, and it was the buck that he had just shot, and it walked off. So we made a couple calls and told people that he hit one. And my buddy Bernie, I texted him, and
I couldn't track him because I couldn't get down into them briars and stuff for sure. But Matthew had called his buddy, and they went down in there, and they tracked him down in there to where he was bedded down, but he wasn't dead yet.
we shined light down there, and it's bedded down there looking at us. It was still alive, so we backed out. We gave it a couple hours, and Scotty come out to give us a hand. And this time me, Bernie, and Scotty went looking for it, and Taylor had come home from school. And
they went up there and went down into where it was laying when they backed off from it, and it wasn't there. And they got to looking around, and here it was laying dead about 20 yards or so from where it was laying.
My dad's like motivation.
Caravan.
Shut up.
Here comes the caravan.
there he is there.
Oh, he's a pretty guy.
That's not bad luck, is it?
No, he ain't. That's a nice one, Dad. Sure got some nice bucks this year.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just here at the farm. Bradley saw a nice one. You had a picture of another nice one?
And the best thing is, it's only October 9th.
Yeah, we're first week of bow
Big
season.
ones
Yeah,
haven't
well,
started
well,
moving yet.
This is the 4th day of bow season.
Yeah,
You can't
he
beat
looks
that.
better now than he did when I shot him.
I was watching one on TV the other day. The dude.
Oh, I'm happy for you, boy. And happy for you, Matthew. You work so hard.
Yeah.
And
Now we got some dough to get you.
Holy back.
Just the front of the gun, huh? I want to thank everybody for helping look for it. Barney showed up in shorts and Crocs, and Scotty come and gave a hand.
It was a thrill for me anyhow.
Well, it's October the 11th. It's my mom's birthday.
Alright, it was second week, Monday of the second week of the season. I had passed on a couple 7 points previously, and I was really tired from working that day and everything I've been busy doing, cutting up people's deer, and so I went to Pap's stand because I was really tired and I wouldn't want to go getting up in a big stand and falling out because I fell asleep. So when I left the house, I told everybody I was probably going to go up and get a nice nap, which I did. I went up there and it wasn't long. I was dozed off in Pap's stand. Took me a little nap, I don't know, probably about a half hour. I woke up and don't remember much from about a half hour, so I took a nap. And sitting there, and pretty soon I seen doe come across the hill, a couple doe. Then they got out of sight and I'm sitting there, and pretty soon here comes another doe. And then behind her is a buck, and it's as early as the season is. I had a hard time believing that buck was chasing that doe, but he had his nose to the ground and was running her around a little bit. And she had come down and stopped in front of me, and he come down. He was quartering towards me a good bit, so I didn't really want to take a quartering to me shot, but she was stopped, and I figured as soon as she'd take off running again, he was going to take off running with her. So he was quartering towards me probably about 30 yards, and I shot, and thought it was a pretty good hit, and he took off running up over the hill, and when he got to the top of the hill, he looked like he was starting to have trouble. He'd only ran probably 50 yards, but I could tell he was not going much farther than that, and he was having trouble. So I gave Pap a call and told him I hit that 9-point that we had on camera, and I messaged Taylor. He was at class, and I messaged Barney, and he said he was on his way to come help look for it. And when Barney got there and Taylor got there, we all got together and went up looking for it. It already got dark by the time we got back out looking for it. I wanted to give it some time, make sure it was dead. And so we went up there and we got on the blood trail, and not too far past where I thought he was having trouble, and the last place I could see him, he was laying there dead.
There he is.
Yep. Found him for me.
You can go for him.
He was
Come
hitting
out
right.
his guts. They come out his guts.
Yeah.
Look, there's my arrow.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Not much spread, but he's a shooter.
Nice.
I hit him good. It was just maybe a little high, but it come out down there in the guts. It was about right. You all right there, Bart?
Fried chicken. I've done deep fried chicken. Man, it's got me.
What the hell? What you doing, Bart?
Well, I can smell it.
Good thing I ordered all that jerky seasoning. Grandma's gonna be in heaven.
Yeah.
That's a dead meat.
Yeah, it's a dead meat. The dead meats work good. That's some penetration.
Oh yeah. Look at the blood coming out.
Bubbling up out of them. Saw 7 longbeards come right out along the quad trail. And I was looking around for a while. Next thing I know, I woke up and it was about 5 o'clock, quarter after 5. So I had me a little nap. That's it. So that's pretty good. We've got 3 bucks down in the first week and a half of the season.
See, what's nice about this spot is if I gotta go to the bathroom, I can just walk to my house. I mean, it's only like 40 yards.
I got a text from Bernie. Him and Tracy was out at the farm hunting. He was sitting with Tracy, and he said that they had seen some doe and they was working their way down through the hayfield towards them. And so I hadn't heard nothing from him for a little while, and then pretty soon he texted, said that Tracy got one of the doe. It was her first deer. He said she shot it, and it ran about 20 yards and fell over in the hayfield, so no tracking job.
She just come out at dark almost, and Bern said, well, go ahead and shoot her. And I was like, all right, so that's what I did. I shot her right there.
Okay, where was you hunting?
In a blind.
Okay, we're at the blind.
On a farm.
On the farm.
On your farm.
Behind the wagon shed, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
They come out,
Good.
heard another one come out to our right, and since we zipped that back up, we couldn't see it. And then I was sitting there, and I'm facing that way, and she's facing up the hill towards the upper stand. I said, tapped her, and I said, there's 2. They went clear up about halfway up the hill to where the hay bales are. And then they turn around and they come clear back down.
Yeah.
They were feeding. They like went up, but it was crazy. They was like on a fast trot on the way back down the hill.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a hard time seeing if I could actually get a shot on her, and then I did anyway.
Worked out.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'd like to congratulate Tracy Brown, which is Bradley's mom, on her first deer.
Congratulations, Tracy. That was Tracy's first deer she's ever killed. So good job, Tracy, and congratulations.
Congratulations, Tracy.
Oh! Look at these nuts.
These nuts? Alright, Bart, hold the leg for me so I can cut his bunghole.
I know if he came by me, I'd probably miss him.
No,
Oh man.
we're going to put him in the deer.
Yeah, that's what me and Dad was saying up there in the woods. We'll put the new teeth in the deer.
What was that with? Is that a pretty leaf?
Don't, I got my hair standing up, quit it. Well, it's laying down.
Ain't nothing but you stand up, man.
Shut up.
I can't help it. I fall asleep.
Oh, I do too.